that's the cab off. We've got it sat there just now. That'll keep it in position. And there she is with just the chassis and the engine box and diff. So we're going to drag it up now with the van, put it up onto the ramp. There's the front fenders, the front wings. And yeah, we'll just use that overhead gantry there to lift it off. There was pretty much nothing hanging on. I don't think there was a bolt in it, was there? No. No, but you can see the feet are still there, so we can recreate them if we need to. And then we'll just work out exactly where the points are, so you can see they're here. That one looks like it's had it a bit. Here, and this is where these other bits go. So we'll see what we've got. So let's drag it up and get it on the ramp. There we are. Just drag it on, put it on the ramp. Hopefully we'll push it up. We'll see. There's the chassis. We've just been looking underneath it. You can see somebody's made a real basic exhaust on it. But one thing I've noticed, and I noticed that when it was still up on the trailer, somebody has definitely had that sump off. You can see, I know from Steve, the guy in Belgium that has a farm, he has a U23, and these are solid plates here underneath that sump. You can see the way it's painted, so that's been for sure, that's been off and done. Maybe it was porous, I don't know. The oil in it is brand new. So that's another thing. The thing we're going to look at now is a distributor. We're having a bit of a problem getting the cap off. So we're going to pull it down, take the starter motor out and make sure that's working and grease it or oil it, lubricate it. And then we'll do a compression test on it. The bore looks good. I've got an endoscope, so we'll go in there and have a look when he brings it down. So I'm just going to do some checking now on what the valve clearances are. So we'll take the starter motor out. It's a pre-engaged starter, which is again surprising, and it is positive earth, which they were pre-war cars. So we've got the live onto the body, earth in it, and you can see, watch the Bendex coming in and out. Of course, it's making a noise because it's sat on this metal, but all the brushes are good. The 4 sets of brushes are fine on it. So yeah, what we'll do is give it a bit of a tidy up. It was an absolute pig to get out. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of room in there, but at least we know it turns over. It does appear that somebody has definitely been messing with it. The sump, you can see, has clearly been taken off and cleaned up. Maybe there were some holes or it was porous. The firing order on this is 1342. So we've got the what we'll do is we'll do a compression test on it as well. We'll check the valve clearances. The distributor having a little bit of a problem with it at the moment because we can't get this cap off, so I might just take the whole body out and just see why that cap is not releasing. It could just be crap. But one of the things we found inside the starter motor was, I don't know what they are, these larvae, but they had gone inside here and they'd laid eggs and things, and so that's it all there. There's some kind of beetle or grub, I don't know what they are. You can see them there, but they'd made a complete nest on each one of these bevel gears. So anyway, we've got it out and it turns over. So we'll give it a clean up so it fits back in easier, and we'll try and go on from there. Okay, so we did a quick compression test on it. So we've had the starter motor out, we've checked it over, got it running. The oil is brand new in it, so somebody has been messing with it, there's no doubt about that. We checked that the oil's coming up. So we did a compression test, and number 1 cylinder was 90, 2 was 90, 3 was 65, and 4 was at 80. But all the valve clearances were bad, really, really poor. I don't think it's that. It's possibly more like worn valves or seats. We'll see. But I think it's certainly good enough to get it running for sure. So, and as you can see, the battery's wired up positive earth because they were positive earth before the war. But the solenoid and the starter seems to be perfect. It turns the engine over fine. So now we've adjusted the valve clearances. They're 0.25. I've taken that from Steve in Belgium because it's the same type of engine, so I hope we're close to it. We'll see how it is now after coffee, and then we'll take off this banjo unit and make sure the oil's coming up, and we'll put the distributor back in and see how we go from there. But we took the distributor out because the cap, because I didn't want to damage it when we took it out, so we've cleaned the points up. The points look okay. I don't know if the condenser's okay, but we'll see. You can see there's a bit of pitting on the rotor arm, and these cables are not much cop. But the way the system works on this is you've got these 2 screws on the top, and then you just replace it. So we know what the firing order is, and we'll have a play with it. It's an offset distributor. I don't know if it's the same as the A series, where it's going down onto the oil pump. I don't know. I'll have to have a look at that. But we'll check there's oil coming up and see if it will fire up. The plugs look pretty good. Yeah, so we'll see if we can do anything with it. We've done the valve clearances, but that's showing the same 90 psi, just a little tad more. So, but we'll go through them all just to check anyway. I'll show you the results at the end. Okay, so we took off the bits, the float bowl off the Solex carburetor. There's a bit of a leak on it. It's got a little pin on the top there to push down onto the float so that you, I can't remember what they're called now. What are they called? These pins. I've forgotten the name. Yeah, it'll come to me, whatever. This Alzheimer's is definitely kicking in. Like it's not a jiggle pin, but it's to push the float down and allow fuel to come in. There's quite a few leaks on it. Unfortunately, the back of the casting's broken there, and that's why that bolt's so far up. Of course, there's no exhaust. Somebody tried to make an exhaust for it. But we flashed it over and it kicked, so we'll give it another go. Do we have to put some more fuel into it, do you think? Or we'll try it. Have a listen.
To try it first.
Sounds pretty good too. You just make sure the oil galleries are all done. So the next thing is see if the gearbox is okay. One of the problems we have to sort out first though is we need to sort this back axle. You can see that those U-bolts are not on there correctly on that side, and you can see they're not correctly on this side either. Oh, that one is in. That one is, but that one isn't on the other side. And if you look at the direction of the diff, that doesn't look right to me. Because look, there's no, yeah, you see the whole diff is, we need to twist it because it's going to put too much strain on that prop shaft. So, it's one thing out of the way. It does actually run. The number, since we did the valve clearance, the number 1 is 90, number 2 is 100 now. It's still 65 on that number 3 and 85 on the 86 on number 4. So, yeah, so we had the fuel pump out, we checked it, make sure it was working okay on the camshaft, we put it on this little bottle here. It doesn't seem to be pulling up fuel, it's just starting to pull up fuel, but we want to check the oil now as well. And we'll go into this diff and try and sort this problem out with this unalignment at the back. You can see it's hanging right down there. It's not good for the pinion gear as well because it's not sitting in the oil right. But in fact, they're not even sitting on them springs. In fact, those springs, are they? I don't think they're original. I think they're different springs, though. Because remember on the XK, they've got those pins, haven't they, going through the studs so you can line up the thing properly. Yeah. Anyway, we'll mess with it and we'll come back to you. But on that note, Mia and I are quite happy, aren't we?
Really happy.
We've got it going.
Yeah.
In, well, literally a few hours. We took it off this morning, about 10 o'clock, and we've got it going. So please look in for part 2, and we'll show you where we are with it. Yeah. So as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, whatever it is. tinkering with wood or metal or engines. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.